The Hawks are at Northwestern this weekend to take on the Wildcats. If you saw my video from Camp Randall Stadium last week at Wisconsin, you'll see that I flipped through these spotter charts rather quickly, and you maybe didn't have enough time to take a look at what's on them. So just a closer look, a more in-depth look at what these spotter charts consist of. So we'll start with Northwestern. So they've got three capable quarterbacks, it looks like, this week. Helinski didn't play much last week against Minnesota. They turned it over to Andrew Marty, who did a bunch of the work for them. So I basically write down the percentage that they complete passes, their yards, touchdowns, and interceptions. If they're a running threat, they'll have running stats on there as well. And then I cordon off the quarterbacks from every other skill position player, as we'll see down below now. So I switch to the skill position. I draw a thick line, and then I go numerically. Some broadcasters like to do theirs based on the formation. I don't find that works for me too well. I follow my mentor, Gary Rima, a lot with that, and go numerically down the order so that when a tackle's made, you can see, okay, who had the ball? Well, I can find it numerically through this spotter chart that's listed like such. So the numbers that are in bold on the left side, those are the starters based on the two deep, and then I write them in a bold color. So Northwestern this week, they're purple, so they've got the purple highlighter in their names. Receivers, over on the right, I guess you could see the physical information about the individual, the height, the weight, what class, what position, where they're from. And so if you see with receivers, okay, 4 receptions for 57 yards for J.J. Jefferson. Stephon Robinson, 30 receptions, 425 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's also carried it 3 times for 14 yards. And so then I'll go through it like that. Evan Hull, the running back, number 26, 116 carries, 750 yards. He got 5 touchdowns, 6.5 yards per carry for the Wildcat running back. He's the starter, so he's in purple highlight. And then down below, I've got the offensive line and how they shake out from left to right numerically, and then the two deeps with that, then place kicker and punter. If you notice, I've got some red circles and lines on here. Those are the statistical leaders. So Stephon Robinson, he's got 30 receptions. That leads the team, so he gets a circle there. Evan Hull has 116 carries. That leads the team, so he gets a circle there. He also has 5 touchdowns, which leads the team. And then additional statistics that I think are important will get an underline in that situation. So this is just sort of how I lay out an offensive chart. And then if you see on the flip side, it's the same thing for Iowa. Okay, same thing for Iowa. Defensively, it's just laid out numerically. Here's Iowa's defense, same type of format. Circles are the team leaders. Underlined are important statistics. So that's what Iowa's defense would look like. And then Northwestern's defense is on the back. And then you just flip through as the game goes along and you find the number, call it the stat, and you go from there. So that's a more in-depth look at the spotter charts that you saw if you watched my video from Wisconsin last week. And that's what these consist of. I got the computer that'll have the statistics on it that I refer to, depth charts and whatnot. And here are the media passes that we get this week for KRUI. This whole process usually takes me the entire week. I'll start on Monday, and usually by the time Wednesday night or Thursday rolls around, I'm all finished up and ready to go, and I can relax and just get ready for the broadcast. So we look forward to taking on the Wildcats this weekend. There's another element to the broadcast that most people hear in pregame with us at KRUI. So Coach Ferentz has his weekly press conference that is on Tuesdays in the afternoon. Typically go to that, ask a couple questions, hear what he has to say, and then you come home and you drag the audio out of that, and then you'll splice it up into interesting notes that maybe Coach Ferentz has, but definitely his thoughts on the week that was. So for this week, okay, we'll get his thoughts on the game against Wisconsin, a final thought about it, and any other notes leading into the week that he addresses before opening it up to questions. And then certainly his sort of scout on Northwestern, so the opponent of the week. So this week it's Northwestern, so we'll hear from Coach Ferentz about what he thinks about the Wildcats and the challenges that they present. And so then you come over to, I use Audacity for now, sort of low rent for now, low resource. And I'll cut it up and insert those then into the broadcast in pregame. So that's how that'll look. And then you'll have our version, I guess, of the pregame conversation with coach, the pregame interview with the coach leading up to the game, and that'll come before we kick off from Ryan Field on Saturday night. A lot of different people have various ways to unwind once your work week is done. Maybe go out, get a nice meal with some friends, some drinks, take in another sporting event. I'm sort of along those lines. All my work's done. We're ready for Saturday and the broadcast now. So time to kick back and watch the Huskies and the Golden Flashes get after it. All in preparation for the broadcast on Saturday.